everyone today? More energy. It's just morning. Woo, woo, woo. All right. It's my pleasure to be here as a pep talk speaker for this year. So in the next 30 minutes, I will walk you through how AI actually impact the world, especially in the scientist space. I would like to give you some of the tips and tricks on how you could embed that AI into each of the process of your scientist project. And also, you want to create something big, something impactful to the world. How you could enhance your project to be more impactful, leveraging the environmental, social, and governance impact. And you guys have a big thing tomorrow to present to the judges on your scientist project. I would share some tips how you could use AI to help you prepare for the speech of the pitching for tomorrow. So let's deep dive in. These days, when people hear about AI, people may think, oh, AI is just a trend. AI is a chatbot. AI is a ChatGPT, where people can use to generate image, speech, article, and so on. But I would like you to see AI in the way that it could help scientists to do this scientific discovery much faster and much more larger scale. So imagine in the past, scientists need to do a bunch of experimentations, a lot of trial and errors by hands. And that could spend years or even decades to speed the delivery of the scientific project. We have some example in the recent year that how AI could actually impact on the science space. Starting in biology, Google DeepMind come up with the project called AlphaFold. So that project is actually the AI model where they could help predict the protein structure. And we all know that protein is the small engine inside our bodies. In order to predict the protein structure, that will help scientists to discover the medicines or understand how they could cope with the disease like cancer or Alzheimer. In weather science, another project from Google DeepMind is GenCast and GraphCast. So this AI prediction model helps predict the weather forecast much more accurate and in real time. That will lead to communities and government have more data, more reliable information to warn people about the upcoming storms, floods, or even heat waves. That means these type of technologies would help save lives from people by getting hit by those disasters. On the material side, Genome, another project, another AI models that could help discover the new materials for solar cells, batteries, or even the electronics. So this AI model could scientists help explore the possibility of the new materials faster, which in the past they could take up to a decade to find those new materials and how to test if those materials are working. So these just a few examples of the data scientific project. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. So how AI could actually help the scientific, you can see some of the examples already. But the most important thing is AI could not just work by themselves. Right? It still rely on the most important piece as you guys, as young scientists, in order to carry this new technology combined with the curiosities that you have and try to make much more impactful scientist project. Now, let me ask some of you, what do you see in this image? What problem do you see? Does anyone would like to share your thoughts? What do you see in this image?
We also have some souvenirs as well. Anybody want a chair? Raise your hand.
We have the great candidate here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure here to share my idea. First of all, so I apologize that my English is not good, but I would like to share my idea of this figure. Okay, so the first, I see, right? I see the person, a kid that hold the world. These guys want to save the world. All world. The world that everybody, you and you and you and everybody, everyone live here. But the backside is the reality world. We live in the world, but we don't save world. And this is, I think this is the dream, the biggest dream of this guy, to save our world. Thank you.
Awesome. Let's give a loud applause. That's such a great observations that you see in these pictures. Yes. Do you think these kids is small? Do you think these kids can make impact to the world? Is it his responsibility to save the world? Probably not only him, right? But this is how we're going to actually change the world, by creating much more impactful science project. I would like you to start thinking, when you want to explore something new or build some new project, don't only think what you're going to build or what you're going to do. Instead, try to think what would be the real world problem that you would like to solve, or how you could improve some of those issues that you see. How many of you knows ESG? So ESG stands for Environmental, Social, and Governance. So this is the key concept on how you could link your science projects to the real world impact. Let's focus on the example. From environment, does your project actually help planet? Help the environment? It could be something like reducing the waste, improve air quality, or reduce the pollution, or even make the water quality is better. So those are an example of the environmental impact. Next, social. Think about how projects impact the socials or communities. Does it make people's life better? Does it help the kids in the pictures before have a better quality of life, have a safety environment to live with? And how you could make technology or the new innovation accessible for everyone. Governance. How can your project actually support a better decision? Can your project provide a reliable data? Can your project help reduce the bias when you need to make a decision on something? So I would ask you to link your project back to at least one of these pillars, ESG. That would help tell the good story on how the real world impact of your project is going to be. And this is one of the ways how we're going to make your project more impactful to the real world. So that would be the question that I would like to leave to you, right? Try to connect back, and this could be one of the key messages when you do the pitching tomorrow. How does your project link to the ESG? I would like to say that the good projects also come with the good measurement. And you do the science project, you need to design a lot of activities throughout the journey. I would like to show you from the start until the end of the scientific project on how AI would come into the activities and how you could leverage such technologies to help improve your science project. Let's start from the first one, the first step. We talked about that a little bit already. How are you going to define your real world problem? You may have a lot of ideas. All right, sorry, technical issue. So you you may have a lot of ideas on how you would like to, what would be the real world problem that you would like to solve, but you may get those ideas from your friends, from the observation that you see on the daily life, maybe see at the school, or see from your local communities where you live. You could also use AI to help brainstorm and validate some of those ideas. Whether those ideas are actually solving the real world problem, or it's just be an idea that it looks cool, but it does not have the real world impact. So you can prompt to an AI something like, hey AI, I am designing or would like to brainstorm on the new science project that I would like to do for the next competition. Help brainstorm, help give us some of the ideas that list on how these ideas actually impact or solve the real world problem. And you probably get a good number of suggestions by AI, right? That will help augment your ideas. Instead of going all over the place, you will have much more impactful and more focused problem that you would like to solve. Next, once you have identified the real world problem, try to connect it back to the ESG. And if you have no ideas on how you can link your problem to the ESG, AI can be another assistance where it could help you by putting something like, I have this idea. For example, I would like to reduce the food waste in my school, at my school. Give me how the food waste issues could impact environment, social, and governance. Which pillar that this idea have a stronger impact? So you could bounce some of those ideas when you try to link back to the ESG concept. Now, once you have it, you will need to identify the research questions. This is also another challenge part, how you're gonna frame the measurable and practical research questions that you as a student are feasible to do. We probably don't want to come up with the very, very hard or impossible research questions that you would not be able to do it at your age, right? Or at your technology that have today. So this is how you could frame it in order to make it more measurable, more realistic to the science project that you try to achieve through the research questions. You can even ask to come up with some of the example, like you probably don't want to set the questions like, I want to reduce the food waste. It's too simple, it sounds weak, right? Make it much more stronger, saying something like, how much can food waste be reduced if the student receive a daily feedback on the canteen waste volume in 2 weeks? So this set of questions is much more specific and measurable. Next, the most important part, how you're going to design your experiment of your project. You can use AI to help guide you or help plan on your experimentation. What data that I need to collect? What type of risks that we will need to consider? What are the factors, both internal and external factors that might impact your project? And how the success looks like for your project. So you can plan and have some ideas based on the AI knowledge that they have today to start grounding and forming your solid experimentation. The good experimentation also comes with a great metrics to measure. You need to show to the world the evidence on why your project would help address the issues. Come up with the impact metrics is also very important to show how you measure it. How do you know that your project is actually get the good result, right? You can brainstorm, you can see what AI suggests, and you can choose and have more ideas to select whether those metrics that suggested by AI make sense for you. And last but not least, this is probably your tomorrow's goals, right? How are you gonna tell an impactful story to the rest of the world about your project? And I will go a little bit deeper on the step number 6 in a few seconds here. But I would like to highlight that throughout the process here, AI could help in many steps. AI can help brainstorm, AI can help you create the experimentation, AI can help you suggest a lot of information. But you, as a human, as a person who actually use AI, you still own your creativity. You are responsibility for any AI output that is give you. You should not just use those output as is without verify or validate if that's accurate or not. You own the decision at the end, not an AI. So that still be a key part as a human that you will need to keep in mind when leverage this AI technology in any part of your science project. Now, in order to tell the impactful story, I would give you a 5-step or 5 components that you should include in your pitch or in your presentation. Starting what problem, and we talk about that quite a lot. Focus on the real world problem that your project is trying to solve. Articulate why you think this problem is matter. Next, what evidence that you actually collect, that you get from the result, from your experimentations, show it in a measurable way. Tell that these are the evidence to support why we summarize the result like this. Solution. What you design to execute your project, right? You can frame it within few sentences or even get into more details on what is your solution. But not only focus on the solution that you created in the presentation, because you need to balance each of the components here to have the judges get the full pictures of your entire project. Impact is also another very important information that you should highlight, especially how that impact to environment, social, and governance aspect. That will help judges link easily on the scale of the impact of your project. Last but not least, what you want to do next after this competition, after this project. Is your project something that can be scaled to a bigger scope? If you have more time, what else do you do? This will also give the judges understand that you not only think about winning this competition only, but you actually think beyond, think big, right? Map it back to the real world that you would like to solve, the issue that you would like to challenge. So these some of the prompt. I'm sure that some of you already leverage the AI to help you prepare the speech for tomorrow. But again, right, I would like to ensure that you use it responsibly. Okay? AI is a good tool. AI could help you become more productive. AI could help you do more with less time. But you still own the decision and the output of it. Now, let me give you a couple examples on the sample project, right? How we can turn a simple ideas into something that have a bigger impact. For example, If we talk about the projects to test which materials that absorb water the best, that may sound simple, right? But you can make it even more impactful. Say something like, I would like to design a low-cost absorbent material for a flood-prone communities. So these clearly link to the ESG. For environment, we could use the recycling material or natural material. From social, it's actually help the community protect the flood. From governance, you could provide reliable data on your experimentation on how to compare the different materials based on your experiment. AI could help you think on what would be the material that you wanted to compare. What are the data that you would need to collect or capture? What are some of the potential safety concerns that you may not think about when you do the experimentation, as well as how they could help to prepare the impactful story at the end. So this is just a quick example. Let's see another one. Let's say that if you have seen the issue in your school around food waste in the canteen, get back to that example, right? You probably have a stronger impact if you would like to create an AI system that help classify the waste. You can put something like, I would like to improve the recycling accuracy in the school through an AI-assisted waste classification. So it is not just an AI application anymore, but once you link to the ESG impact, that help elevate your science project from the application to things much more impact to environment. It actually help reduce the waste contamination. It help build the awareness for the students how to classify the waste. And they also create the measurable recycling data that you can use further in the school. So those are some of the examples how you could make an impactful version of your project by just link it back to the ESG. So the great scientist is not only asked what you should build or I can build these things, but you should ask what real-world problem that you want to target, what are the evidence that you can prove that these actually have an impact to the planet, who will be benefit from your project. Is it in the small scale or in the larger scale? So ask these questions to your group, to yourself, right? Thinking about these questions when you try to come up with an ideas. The most important part, and I highlight this multiple times, is still be human. Your curiosities will create the new ideas, right? Your care will help people and the planet. Your responsibility is very important when using the AI technologies. You must show your evidence that your project actually provide the impact and how you actually measure it. And last but not least, integrity. That is an important one. You need to show transparency on how you actually execute it. All of the data, all of the summary that you come up with, are those traceable? Are you mocking up? Or you actually did the test and provide the honest result? So, just to wrap up, this stage provides you a great opportunity to show your impact to the world through your science project. Don't only focus on how you're going to win this competition tomorrow, but try to think on how your project will change the world. Try to build something that more meaningful, not just do it because it's cool, because it's follow the trend. At the end, we want to live in the world that we have clean energy, we have a safe environment, everyone is happy, we have a clean air, and we have a better quality of life. Try to build something big, try to think big, even though you may be a small student in this room. But who knows, one day you could become a great scientist who deliver much bigger scale impact. It's all about your mindset. Think big today, you might deliver something great and huge scale tomorrow. Use AI not just make your project smarter. Use it to make your project matter to the world. Thank you.
So questions? Quiz time. Or your questions as well. But we also have some questions here that we'd like your participation. So we have some souvenirs to deliver out. And maybe would you want them on stage?
Yeah, so, but we have questions from the floor.
Question first? Okay, question first.
Hello, my name is Sachi and I'm from Indonesia. I'd like to ask a little bit because you mentioned how we should make projects more meaningful. I see that almost everyone who joins a competition like this, all of their projects are impactful and meaningful, but somehow they only stop after like a year after the competition. How should we make sure that the impact can become longer and also more sustainable? And also, what opportunities should high schoolers look out for so that the world can know about our project? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. That's such a great question. And I think that is another common issue that we've seen as well, right? Like after these competitions, everyone's exciting, right? But once you continue to go do something else, your project is kind of in there. So I would say this way, technology changed a lot, especially in AI space, right? 5 years ago, or even 3 years ago, we may not have the powerful AI model that could help do such thing. My recommendation is the world will change the way to do experimentation, to do the projects, to continue the ideas. But you have seen the key issues in the world. Even though how fast technology is moving, we still have some part of the world or communities still have the issues. So your issues or your project might solve the specific issues that it can be something temporarily. But if you focus on something that, let's say 10 years ago, we still have this issue, today we still see it. In the next 10 years, we may still see some of those issues. How are we going to actually think further? And that's where we goes beyond kind of like your ability today as a high school student, right? But as long as you have mindset to think, I think when you continue to grow in the career, you will also adhere to those mindset and always find opportunities that resonate to your career or your communities or something that's specific to the country in a unique way. So there is no one answer fit all, especially with this fast moving pace world. So the key skills that I would suggest you keep adhering is curiosities, right? Stay curious. Stay asking why I should do this, why these issues still happen, why this still happen in the next 5 years. Okay. So let's ask some of you the questions. We prepare some of the souvenir, right? So let's start with the first one. After you learn or listen through the presentation, what is one thing that you think AI can help you do when you start the science project? Anyone would like to share?
Thank you very much. I'm Omar and I'm from Indonesia. And in my opinion, what one thing AI can really help you do when starting a science competition is to brainstorm. And to brainstorm our initial idea and make more concise and more in-depth perceptions from different perspectives in how this science project will actually work and what will it impact and how it can benefit society.
Great answer. Give a loud applause. I see another hands. Yes, the ladies. Uh-huh.
So I think AI can really help us, especially if there is something odd about our data. It really can help us like improve our data and also interpret the data also. So I think it's very helpful, especially for us, the young scientists that knows nothing. We also can think about the newest project or how to extend the project, becoming more matter in the society also.
Thank you. I think you spot on the most important piece about data, right? Of course, AI could help on some of those data analysis, data extraction, data insight, and so on. So use that. It's a very good answer. Next questions. What does ESG stand for? Show an example on how the project actually impact to one of the area. Any volunteer? No one? One in the front.
Okay. Hello, sir. My name is Tifa, and I'm from Indonesia. So ESG stands for environment, S stands for social, and G stands for governance. And one impact my project can help with from environment is actually can reduce battery waste specifically and also for social, it can also impact for the social's health because battery waste can harmful for the human health as well. And for governance, I think we can actually make the society to realize how battery waste should be treated properly because in today's world, battery waste are actually not being handled properly. So it is better to make better decisions in throwing your batteries. That's
awesome.
My answer. Thank you.
All right, last but not least, remember the 5 parts to tell the impactful story. Can anyone name what are the 5 parts or 5 components that you should include into your pitch tomorrow? We have a man here.
Okay, hi, my name is Anik Naufal and I'm from Malaysia. So the 5 parts of a strong impact for your story of your science project is firstly is the problem statement. So you look up, you search about what are the current problems in our world, and then next is the evidence to show that the problem exists, what is people affected by it, or the current states or location countries that are affected by it. And then you came up with a solution. So for your science project, what do you do to combat the problem, to help with the problem? And after that, you evaluate, see what is the impact of your project that can help with the problem. And then lastly, you look up and come up with future improvements. So the next step basically. And then you repeat step. And that's how to to give your science project a strong impact.
Awesome. So that's pretty much ready for tomorrow, right? Do we have more questions? Yeah, one more questions. Let's share some thoughts on how your team will be able to use AI in your science project to create a real world impact. This probably need a little bit more thoughts, how you could apply it. Any team?
No right or wrong, right?
No right or wrong.
Anybody who answers
Ah.
get a, we still have a tumbler here.
You learn many examples, right? How AI could help you along the journey. Can you give some example? Maybe something that you already use in your project, or something that you think you can use in your project. At the back.
So the main way that my team is planning to use AI is mainly to utilize the multiple AI models that already exist to be able to utilize scientific data to be able to create a program that can replace physical experiments or simulations that could be more time-consuming and complex.
So, like I mentioned at the very beginning, right? AI can help experimentation faster and much more bigger impact. So, thanks for the answer. Very great answers. Can you have one more? Yes, we have the back.
Yes. Good morning. My name is Kenan from Indonesia. I believe that our team can use AI to connect our project to ESG. It can connect our problem to tangible real-world problems from the environmental, social, and governance aspect, such as data collecting or real-world problems such as poverty and the lacking healthcare. Thank you.
Great answer. Thank you. All right. So, we have one more. One more. Okay. Last person.
Good afternoon. I am John Francis from the Philippines. And to answer your question, I believe that AI can help marine conservation efforts because in our study, particularly in the Philippines, certain institution that cares for giant clams, their marine monitoring is very labor-intensive and time-consuming. So I believe that AI can be applied in, for example, CNN-based image processing for better and more efficient identification of different species.
Indeed. Thank you. All right, so hope everyone learned some things today. And I hope that with the tips and tricks that I shared with you this morning would help in your project. I would highlight that these are the key skills that not only apply in the science project, but these are the skills for the next generations that everyone should have. Creativity is still with human, right? Care is still be with human. Responsibility is still with human. Use AI responsibly and catch up with the fast move world in the next generation. Thank you.